Alright. So, first off to say, what a crazy world we live in. Like the state of things right now. But just in these past, few weeks, few months, I've, noticed when you stop thinking about the things that you can't control, it kind of live a lot peacefully, so many things are distractions nowadays. A lot of time, I hope that there's more genuine conversations than not, but it doesn't seem that way. And that needs to change. Love and hope can resonate through just everything. Any dark day, any bout with depression or anxiety. And also, I wasn't that religious for a long time, but becoming right with God, it does make a difference too. And I feel like they make it seem that oh, you have to do this, that to be right with God, when realistically you just have to treat your conscience like it's God, right? Whereas in when you ask yourself, oh, is A or B the right decision? And your first innate reaction is to go with what's more positive in that sense, or what is the better choice, even though it's might be the harder choice. It might be way more, it might make your life a bit difficult too, but it needs to be made. When you run from those choices, that's when you fall into the anxieties, into yada yada. You don't think, you think that, oh, I got away with this and nothing else is going to come of it in the long run. But we might not, you have to really stop and look and analyze why certain actions in your life happen the way they do, why negative things happen. Because a lot of times it's karma is one of the biggest forces besides the holiest energy and that, or am I allowed a smart car? Okay. But I feel a lot of times there's so many distractions that there's so many other things to do than to not think about our faults. And it's okay to acknowledge your faults. It's okay to just because you mess up, it doesn't mean that you're forever doomed. It's only when you mess up and you don't choose to want to be better than that mess up. You accept that, oh, because I messed up, that means that defines who I am inside. But it doesn't. We need you can't cast away every negative action that you influenced or partook in, because all of this makes us us. And just because it's a negative doesn't mean that you can't turn your life into a positive from that. That could be the breaking point to where you're hey, I want to change my life today. And a lot of times a lot of people don't get to that point. And and realistically, it's only because our society at large and all of us directly, indirectly, it kind of just makes your world so small. Who do you think you are to think you can be successful? Like, you ain't nothing. Like, you ain't gonna do shit. Sorry, you ain't gonna do anything. When, like, you hold so much hope and light within yourself, you hold everything that you could and you want to be. The universe will permit what it does if that's not your destiny at the end of the day. But I feel like that's even limiting. I feel like if it's there for a reason, if it's genuinely there for a reason in your heart that you want to do this thing, then I would say you're meant to do that thing. Like, all my life, I've been so into music. I've been so into like instruments or guitar and like eventually singing or rapping or like whatnot. And like I do it for myself because like, oh hey, cool, like it's like that's like my little chip on my shoulder. And I feel like, oh, if I like put that in someone else's face, that's just me like being cocky or boastful. When realistically, like, you should take pride in the things that you enjoy doing and that you're good at. Like, you should be confident when you're doing what you like. You shouldn't let your ego. Oh no, it's like you just gotta keep your ego in check though. And when you don't keep your ego in check, then you kind of lose a lot of the pureness in what you're doing. Because then, like, it's like, why are you showing off your ego for the sake of doing it? It's because, like, you're still insecure yourself and you need to still, like, have that talk with yourself. And that's okay, too. Like, we can all change our own lives. Like, I understand to an extent that it's very, like, there's certain situations and certain circumstances, but I genuinely feel like if we change our mindset, if we, like, genuinely choose to, like, want to live a joyous life each day, choose to not get stuck on the menial and the littlest, like, pontification of shit. Like, life is a lot of times too short to even, like, why do you even worry about the littlest things? There's no need to. Life is going to hit you how it's going to hit you, and you just have to choose to get up each time. And it's hard, and it might take years, and it might take some therapy. It might take this or the third, but it's necessary though. Like, I struggle with anxiety and depression for like more than 10 years now, and I finally reached a point where, like, I'm 29. I don't have like constant racing thoughts anymore. Sure, I have my days where I just want to like recharge and like just chill at home, but a lot of times I'm sorry about that. A lot of times I just don't try to do, like, try to want to suffer anymore. And I think that if all of us chose, like, to not let the world's, like, suffering tactics crash us, then we can do great things too. And that was just random and it's kind of like out of nowhere, but Johnny felt better. And I want all of you to as well. Might not happen today, might not happen tomorrow, but make it through it, day by day, step by step. Because, hey, you gotta look at it as like, you made it all the way here. Made it all the way here through all the bowl. And you're still standing. And that, I personally think, and other people should think, is beautiful. To keep pushing on from the worst of the worst, to keep pushing on, that's beauty right there. The human condition, that's beauty. I'm not sure if that's the right term there, but I digress. You need to believe in yourself. I know it's hard, but you need to. You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in God. If not God, you need to believe in a higher energy than yourself, because you can't, when you think that you can control everything, like as in there's no God, as in there's no universal energy, that you're in control of all this and life isn't going well, then how, you're never gonna, it's like a constant cycle. It's like the labyrinth, the labyrinth of suffering. You're just gonna just keep suffering and suffering because you're not changing your mindset about it. You have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive others. It might take some time, but in the end, you need to forgive. That's detrimental, is that you need to forgive and give respect to. Respect is detrimental. Like, I feel like respect has been so lost over the years with boundaries and all that stuff, but respect is very important too. Listen if you're gonna be on YouTube and doing yada yada, like, realize who you're like giving your time to, and is this person like taking advantage of your time? Is this person just for this real quickly, like, it's like going back to PBS Kids, or PBS and like TV, right? Or kids television, where like we watched television, or we watched like media most times for like educational means, like for like you needed to know these things or something like that. And now it's just like to all frilly-nilly making little hidey holes in your house, like to impress kids, you know. And it's like, you shouldn't be impressing kids. You should be more like giving, like, just teaching, just like, I don't know, push reading. You know, reading comprehension is like so down, like so low to the ground. A lot of kids can't write their own name. Why is no one angry about that? Like, there's so many things that are wrong and could be fixed, and yet just because people make money off of them, they won't be fixed. And that goes for everything. That goes for healthcare, that goes for burying your family, that goes for school, that goes for everything. If they can make a buck on it, nothing's gonna change, because that just greed is a demon. Greed is evil. If you chase green, then you're just being greedy, and there comes like that negative force with that. If you looked at anyone that lives their life and just worrying about their finances, or just worrying about, not even worrying about their finances, but like worrying about like having the most money or having the most this, it's like, what else is there to life but what makes you whole? And these things can never make you whole, because it's just buying things. Like, I can't buy an ability to play like the accordion, right? Even though I would love that. I would love to be able to, like, but the whole point of it is like, there's some things where money can't buy, and those are the purest things. Like the human soul, a lot of people actually do, like, metaphorically, metaphysically, actually like sell that. They don't think they are, but they are. And when you do that, you can't go back on that, because that's just your whole life. It's just chasing that dollar. Because chasing that dollar just feeds the machine, man. Life is just so much more beautiful than any materialistic shit. Like stories, like music, art, go for a walk, go for a hike. Like, look at trees, look at nature. Things that money can't buy. You can literally just do the best things in life for free. They've said that for so long, and it is so true, that the best things in life are free. And it's just, saw 999, that was pretty cool. Life is more than your material belongings. I feel like that message has gotten lost because of capitalist America and just capitalist the world. It's not just America, it's all about the money. It's everywhere. If anyone says that, oh, like, it's not about the money, it's like, that's probably the only cynical part I will admit to myself, is like about the money, not about the money. Because these days, you can count on 8 out of 10 things to be about the money. And only you can see how each interaction is about the money, and how, is that really even a needed thing? Like my vape, like weed, like alcohol, like video games, like all these things that like we like work our bodies to the bone for. And in the long run, what are the pleasures? What are the pleasures that we are left with? I honestly couldn't, like, because it's just an endless chase, man. An endless chase for money. I could wake up with $1 million tomorrow, and besides taking care of my family and yada yada, after I take care of my family, alright, what else is there now? Sure, I have this amount of money, but okay, my life's still the same. It's just now that if I want, I don't have to work. But then into where you don't have to work, now that's boredom. And now what are you gonna do with that boredom? You're gonna buy things. Okay, and then when you all you can do is buy things, what are you gonna do? Run out of all your money. And in the scheme of things, it's okay to run out of all that money, because money, like I said, can't buy happiness. You gotta do what you gotta do with that money. But also, like, if you're not actually doing anything positively with any of that money, in this, what's the point? I just don't get that. I never got that. It's like, what's the point of having all that money when you know that, like, all these people, all these, like, just normal people and, like, vets, and they're just on the streets and just starving to death. All these things. And all of us together, we can change that. Because we've left it up to, and what has changed? Like, even the whole Luigi thing, like, I was so, like, I thought that this was like, oh, this is gonna be like a big uproar now. Like, oh yeah, no, it's literally like a big thing happened, and then all of us just got distracted, and now we're here. And it's like, what was the point of even that guy dying then? This is all for, it's like, is this a game? I know it's all a game, but like, is there a comedic effect for the higher workers of yada yada. You know what I mean? What is the benefit besides killing your spirit, breaking your soul, and breaking you down until you're not a robot, but you're basically a robot because they got you. They got your spirit, they got your soul. Now you're just what they wanted you to be. And I think that, especially if you've been listening to me ramble and you probably use a wrong term or two because I'm not the best talker, but I do what I can. But I digress. But all of us together can change the world. But if we're waiting on a single Superman to change the world, like, no one, it's not fair to like a single person to put all of that on their backs. No, we have to fight too. We have to stand together too. We are one. If you still got a spirit, if you got some soul still in you, if you got love still vibrating through your bones, then don't let them take that. Because that's something that the universe or God or what have you gave you. Is that spark. That spark in your chest, just waiting to get ignited into whatever you want it to bloom into. You are amazing. You are beautiful. You are spectacular. You deserve better. If you've been letting yourself suffer, and trust me, I know, I get it. I was the same way too. Trust me, if you're letting yourself suffer, you need to find your way out of the labyrinth. You need to let go. You need to forgive. You can't keep holding on to this shit. You really can't. It's gonna kill you. It will. Not today, not tomorrow, not the next day, but one day it will. But don't let it. Because you deserve joy. You deserve the good things too. Not just anyone that has a shit ton of money. You can be rich. You can be rich being poor. It's all about how you look at things. Perspective is key. And perception is key. That's the key. How you look at the world. You can't look at it negatively all the time. And as much as they want to make it negative, you can't. You gotta hope for better. If we're not hoping for better, then we're basically already done. And I need to end this here, but I believe in all of you, and I genuinely think that you can do anything that you set your mind to. And I hope you rest well. Hope you've been staying hydrated. I hope you eat a good meal. And I hope you get some good rest done. Alright. Peace. One love.